Good morning, students. Today I'm going to talk about transformations. Most of the questions on transformations I have already shared with you on the WhatsApp, but I do feel sometimes the student needs some verbal explanation. So that's why the sheet which I have already given to you, um, that sheet contains from paper 4, 31 questions. So 10 questions I have already sent you the pictures, and you guys can understand through the color scheme which I have used, and all explanations are given over there. Again, but if you will have any problem, you may discuss with me. After watching this video, maybe if any misconception is there, it will be clear to you. And I would suggest you should watch this video from the beginning till the end. Okay, so all types of questions we can experience from question number 11 till question number 32. So it would be a long video, but I'll try to explain you all things which are required to explain transformation. At some stages, we would need the tracing paper. Although my techniques are not, following the tracing paper, method, but I have already taught you the tracing paper technique. You can use as a replacement of the technique which I will use it here. So let's start with question number 11. The question number 11, boys, he has given us uh, the original figure A, which is shaded, and he's asking you explain the single transformation which is transforming the triangle A to B. It's clearly translation, because guys, in translation you don't find any change in area, shape, orientation. So everything will be preserved. So it's clearly seen figure B is a translation. So normally translation has 2 marks, as the examiner wants to see only the labeling of the transformation plus how to explain translation through the column vectors. You need to mention it clearly over there. So I'm picking one point from here and its corresponding point. So how it is moving: one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, 1, 2. So I go 8 left and 2 up. So my column vector will be -8, 2. So every point in the triangle A has moved 8 units left and 2 units up. So in the exam, writing the column vector, it will give you 1 mark, and 1 mark they will give it to you if you mention the name of the transformation. Clear, boys? Now A to B is done. Now we go from A to C. Look at the shapes. C. It has the same shape, but size is smaller. Clearly, it is enlargement. It cannot be translation. It cannot be reflection. It cannot be rotation. So the fourth one, which is left, that is definitely enlargement. So whenever we talk about enlargement wise, we have to mention 3 things. What are the 3 things? The name of the transformation. The second thing is the scale factor. For the scale factor, pick any 2 corresponding sides. Suppose a student says, I'm going to pick this side, this is the final figure, and its corresponding side for the original figure is this. So how many units? It's 1 unit, and this is 2 units. So the scale factor should be 1/2. If the students write 2/1, then it means that you are moving from C to A. Actually, the question is you are moving from A to C. So C figures, its dimension should be in the numerator. So the scale factor is 1/2. We are done with the scale factor. Last thing is enlargement center. For this, You need to join the corresponding points by using the ruler, draw the straight line, and see after drawing the line for the other pair of corresponding points where the two lines intersect. So, guys, it is clearly seen this point minus 4, 0 is the center of the enlargement. Minus 4, 0 is the center of the enlargement. So, translation enlargement, they are pretty straightforward, no problem in them. Let's move on to the next, A to D. Guys, A to D, shape is same, size is same, but you have a different orientation. What is the different orientation? The orientation is, my friends, the vertical line, which is this vertical line, becomes horizontal. When vertical line becomes horizontal and the horizontal line becomes vertical, it's clearly 90-degree rotation. Okay, if it is 90-degree rotation, you need to also see that what type of orientation is it, clockwise or anti-clockwise. Let me just first write that this is rotation, this is 90-degree. Yes. Now if you can see that this triangle is in this shape, it makes you feel that if you rotate this triangle in this way, then this shape will be formed. But if you rotate it in this form, what type of a shape will be formed? You will get this type of a triangle. So originally the triangle D is not in this form. So can I say this is anti-clockwise? The answer is no, it's not anti-clockwise. Basically, it is a clockwise transformation. So I said it's a clockwise orientation. Now, clockwise orientation, I will mention it here. One of the biggest challenge which normally students face, how to find the center. Now, center will be definitely somewhere here. Why? It's opposite to where you have written the clockwise rotation. So the center will be here. But how to get this center? Different teachers have different ways. My way is to find the clockwise rotation is that how you rotate things clockwise. For example, if you draw the arrow for the original figure here, to move the figure clockwise, this direction is a clockwise direction. Look, this is a clockwise direction. How can I define it here? Look at that. I'm going to use a golden color. So this is 90 degrees, guys, and this is also a 90 degree, right? For the original figure, I move in the right direction, and for this triangle, the second triangle, I move downward direction. Okay. Now you can see that what are the distances? They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, and 2. If you move further, you go down, it 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 1 2 3. Look at that, it's not helping us, they're moving away from each other. So we need to use different clockwise direction which can take us towards this final solution. So what I'm going to do, let me erase these golden arrows for you. Okay, let's use a different approach. For the clockwise, I'm going to write the clockwise direction, this and this. This is also a clockwise direction. Now I move in this direction, and I move this way, this way, this way, this way. Imagine, guys. Now we have the same distance. What is the same distance I am having? 2 units here, 2 units here. So when you get the same distance, when you get the same distance, that point is your center. So 1 and minus 1. So I hope you understand that why I have chosen this direction. Because when I chose this direction, it has made me stand nowhere because there was no, um, you know, uh, equal distance at any stage we found it. So this clockwise direction is very appropriate. If you want to repeat this, and I would suggest you to repeat it in the exam for the other um, you know um, points as well. Suppose a student says, I want to check that is it the same center if I'm using this point and this point. Okay, no problem. Go ahead. Use, what was the direction you chose? Left, up, left, up, left, up. So my friends, now to see the distances are same. Can I show you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So look, the distances are the same. So our center is remained 1 minus 1. This technique I normally use because I don't want to use compass. Some other students, they can use the tracing paper, and as I told you that if you want to use tracing paper, for tracing paper you need to put the tracing paper on top of the figure and trace x-axis and y-axis, and also the triangle D and triangle A, and then the the challenge is this, where you need to place the needle of the compass, and then you push the or rotate the pressing paper about that point where you are pressing the paper and the point where you are pressing the the needle of the compass. So in my discussion I told you, since it was a clockwise and we know the area where the center is there, so you need to use trial and error and keep using different points and rotate triangle A to match exactly the triangle D. So if you keep trying in the exam on different points, then I think it will not take a lot of time. But if a student, he understands my technique, he can go with it. But I will prefer, if you use the tracing paper, and you keep trying all the points which are in this region, because I know that I have shown this thing and clockwise here, so opposite to clockwise, this area, this area, you will definitely have one of the point where which is the center of the rotation. And if you can use the tracing paper technique, that is the trial and error method. Third method is, I shared with you, I had shared with you the video which explains the construction technique, that you pick the point and the corresponding point and draw perpendicular bisector over there, and then you pick another two pair of one pair of corresponding points, and you draw a second pair perpendicular bisector. So when you drew the perpendicular bisectors both, where they intersected, that point is the center of rotation, and that point has to be 1 minus 1. This is the third technique normally the examiners, student teachers are explaining to the students, and they are using it. But my way is this. Okay, so I'm going to erase the extra things which I have drawn over here. So center is done. Last. On the grid, draw the triangle A, an enlargement of scale factor 2, and the center is 7 3. So this was rotation, and this was translation. And now the next thing is we need to do the enlargement again with the center 7 3. 7 3 is this point. Um, Now I need to write relevant to the point as the center 7 3, all the coordinates of the triangle. So guys, can you write this coordinate, this point, which is one left and two down, and the coordinates of this point, it should be -3, -2, and the coordinates of this point will be three left, two up. Now, after writing these 3 points, I will see what is my scale factor. My scale factor is 2. So, as per rule, I will write the points -1, -2, -3, -2, and -3, 2. I will multiply them with 2. This gives me -2, -4, -6, -4, and -6 and 4. So let me represent these points: -2, -4, -2, -4, put the dot here, -6, -4, -6, -4, and -6, 4, -6, and 4. Right? So all points are represented. Again, which points I have taken? -2, -4. So I'm ready to draw the triangle. So guys, this triangle which I have drawn here, let me shade it green. So this is the enlargement. It is drawn here. Thank you, guys. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.